Hey everybody, Jeremy here, and this is the Casabrews CM5418 espresso machine. And with this machine, you're able to produce single and double shots of espresso. You can also froth your own milk using the steam wand on the side. You can also gather hot water from it. So while you're producing your favorite cup of coffee, eventually you're going to need to clean the machine. And that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to go through 3 different levels of cleaning so that you'll know exactly what you need to do in order to keep this machine nice and clean and in tip-top shape. So first, let's start with level 1, which is the basic wipe down. So the basic wipe down is for the core of the machine. And to do that, all you need is just a soft, damp cloth or perhaps a sponge. And then just give the machine a nice little once or twice over. As you use it, you'll see that coffee grounds will begin to gather like around here. There'll be a little bit of spillage here and there. Coffee grounds can be quite fine. So, they just tend to get places. So you can just use this just to wipe the machine down and get rid of any debris that might be on it. Another important thing to note when you're doing a general wipe down is that you don't need to rely on heavy cleaners to get the job done. Typically, a regular damp cloth is going to do you just fine. If you need a little bit more power, you can just take a little bit of soap on there and give it a little extra elbow grease, but you don't need to rely on chemicals in order to get this nice and clean. And once you're done with that, we can move on to the different accessories to clean, such as the filter holder here, the filters that come with it, such as the single filter that's already in here, and the double filter, as well as this scoop for the coffee grounds, which also has a little built-in tamper on the end of it. So with these, you don't put these in the dishwasher. All of these have to be cleaned over in the sink. Nothing that I'm going to show you is dishwasher safe. So just make sure that you avoid that and take them over to the sink. Regular soap and water is going to get the job done. It's going to be very easy to clean these, especially if you give them a rinse down as soon as you're done. The sooner that you can get those coffee grounds out while they're still nice and wet and warm, then the easier everything is going to be to clean in general. So that's really simple to do, and it'll only take you a minute or 2 to do it. So now let's move on to level 2, which is going to be cleaning the brew head. Now, when you look at the machine straight on, you aren't going to really see it. What you need to do is just sort of duck down a little bit, look right under here, and once you've been using it, you'll see that coffee grounds tend to gather on the brew head like that. So all you have to do is just take yourself a brush or a cloth or whatever you have handy and just clean those coffee grounds from around that area. And then once you're done, you can take yourself a cup or a glass or a bowl, whatever you happen to have, and you can set it right underneath the brew head just like that. And to do this, you don't need to use the portafilter, so you can just leave that off. And now make sure that you have water in the tank in the back of the machine, and then you can just press either the 1 cup or 2 cup option. Let's just do 1 cup. And that hot water is going to flow through the brew head and it's going to clean it out. It only takes a handful of seconds to do, and then you can just take your cup of your water, toss it down the drain, and now your brew head is nice and clean. Now, once you got the brew head clean, if you've been frothing milk, you might want to turn your attention to the steam wand. Now, by default, whenever you use the steam wand to froth your milk, as soon as you are done, immediately take yourself a damp cloth and wipe down the outside of the steam wand. And that's because the milk will really stick to that steam wand. And you know what happens when milk starts to get old. It is not a pleasant experience. So make sure that you immediately wipe down the steam wand with a wet cloth as soon as it's done. Now, when you're done with that, you also have to make sure that you run another steaming session for at least a few seconds after you froth milk, because that's going to purge the residual milk out of the wand. So that'll also help to make sure that you don't have spoiling milk trapped inside of your wand. And also inside the packaging, you are going to notice this, and it has a really sharp needle on the end of it. And this is for helping you clear out any blockage that might occur from when you're using the steam wand. So it has a little tiny hole inside of it. So all you have to do is take the needle and just stick it up that hole and just try to free it. You can use the little small needle or you can use the slightly larger one, and then this is going to help you to clear out any blockages that you might have. That's what this is for, so make sure you keep that handy. But in the event that that doesn't help to get rid of a blockage that you might have, this also comes off. You can twist off this lower portion, and then once you have this freed, you can run some water through it, or in more extreme cases, you can put it inside of some water along with the Espresso machine cleaning tablet and help to get it clean that way. But that's going to be in the most extreme circumstances. Typically, you won't have to go this far in order to keep this steam wand clean and free of blockages, provided you are cleaning it after every milk frothing by pushing that extra steam through it when you're done and wiping it clean with the cloth when you're done as well. So now that brings us to level 3, which is descaling. And it also happens to be the most time intensive aspect of cleaning this espresso machine. But fortunately, it's not something that you're going to have to do often at all. You're going to get an indication that you need to descale the machine once you get 500 brewing cycles in. And once you do, you can run out to the store and just get yourself an off-the-shelf descaling solution, just like this one here. They're not difficult to find at all. You can consult the instructions on your particular descaling solution so that you can know exactly what you need to do in order to clean it. On the back of this one here, it says that I need to fill the reservoir with water and add 1 ounce of cleaner for every 16 ounces of water. So I put all of that into this water reservoir, which is in the back of the machine. And then from there, I'm going to push it through the machine as well as letting it sit there. So how long do you need to wait? Well, about 5 minutes. And then after those 5 minutes are up, you turn the machine back on and run through those same steps 3 more times. And when you're done with that, we're almost to the finish line, because now you take your water tank, you empty it out if you need to, and then put nothing but clean water inside of this tank here. And then you just run the 2-cup brewing process 2 more times. No descaling solution, just regular, pure, clean water. You do that 2 more times, and then your machine will be thoroughly descaled and ready to use as normal. And even though you descaled the machine, it's not going to know that you did that. So you'll need to cancel the descaling warning, which is all of those flashing lights when you see it. And to do that is really easy. Just hold the 1 cup, 2 cup, and steam buttons simultaneously. Hold it there for a few seconds, and that's going to cancel out the warning. So that's it. Those are the 3 levels of cleaning for the Casabrews CM5418 espresso machine. And as you've seen here, it is not difficult to do at all. So just make sure that you keep up on your maintenance, wipe it down every now and then, make sure that you purge that milk from the steam wand when you use it, and do your descaling after 500 brewing cycles and then the other 500 cycles moving forward. You do that and you'll have yourself a machine that will continue to produce some nice, reliable espressos all the time.